Hello, my name is Bobby Benton, aka Serendipitously Bobby, and welcome to Life Essentials, the Self Healer's Journey podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Essentials, the Self Healer's Journey podcast. I am your host, Bobby Benton. And guys, tonight you are in for a good treat. It is going to be a fun time. I have two wonderful guests. I have tonight Miss Natoya Jones. She is going to be our guest host. And then I also have guest Esau Parker. And Esau and I are going to play the Cut Through the Bullshit card game. And we're going to just talk about relationships and, things like that. But first, I want to read Miss Toya's bio. So, Latoya Jones, a Detroit native, financial consultant, author, and community advocate with over 2 decades of experience in the banking industry. She's the founder of DG Revenue Management and the Revenue Management Foundation, both created to empower individuals, especially in underserved communities, with the tools to build financial stability. Latoya is also a HUD certified housing counselor, published author of Soul and Never Give Up. Her passion lies in bringing the wealth gap through education, empowerment, and purpose driven outreach. So, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. It is nice to be back here. It's even more fun to be on this side. Last time I was a guest, so it's going to be so much more fun to put you in a hot seat.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So, next we have Esau Parker. Esau Parker, how you doing?
Hey, you all right?
Yes. So Esau captured by hip hop at the tender age at a tender age, he quickly fell in love with poetry. He wrote his first piece at 16, began performing on stages at 20, and has begun changing lives ever since. Bound by his convictions and liberated by his sincerity, he hails from Detroit by way of Alabama. Please welcome poet, spoken word artist, and author of Smelly Socks, Esau Parker. Yay! So
Yes.
welcome.
Yes.
I'm excited to have you both here. Yeah, I just been looking forward to this. I've been wanting to play the card game, and I was like, who better to play it with than Esau? So
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm thankful and I'm appreciative. I'm very appreciative. Um I've been knowing Bobby for a long time, and I met her through her being a great supporter, of my poetry, and she's just been a great spirit and a great soul ever since.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Good. Now, before we get started with this intriguing card game,
Uh-huh.
we all want to know why smelly socks?
um, Smelly socks. It's really a code. It's a code name and a code word. Because I thought about I'm gonna try to make it short. I thought about a what do you call those? I'm trying to think of the word. It's like sort of a relic. Um, it's like a treasure. I can't think of the word of it. It'll come to me. That people search the world over to find. It's like a treasure. And I thought one of if you ever look at the relics and treasures that people search for and all that stuff, one of the famous treasures of all time is like Jesus cups, the cups that Jesus drunk out of. It's a specific word for it, but it can't come. I can't. It's not coming to me right now. But it's I looked at my book as that treasure, and I thought about some of the what would be the modern day version of that. Like, what would be the modern day version of a priceless treasure that people would search a world over or coveted over? And that was I thought about Michael Jackson, and I thought about some of his most iconic and coveted things, or it's just simple things that he made iconic. The glove, that's an iconic thing for Michael Jackson. If you think about the shoes, the toe stand, the socks. Michael Jackson's socks are legendary, and I thought that those were like great iconic relics. And a lot of people don't know, if you do the history of Michael Jackson, one of his nicknames when he was a kid was Smelly. A
Hmm.
lot of people didn't know that, but you have to do like some research. And it was given by Quincy Jones,
Mm.
because he was in the studio with Quincy Jones one day, and he was he didn't curse. Michael Jackson didn't curse, and Quincy kind of made fun of him not cursing because he was trying to say like shit, and he said smelly.
Oh.
So Quincy Jones had nicknamed him Smelly.
Mm.
So the book is really, I guess, Michael Jackson socks, but it's smelly socks. And I thought it was dope to play on the words, and I thought it was interesting that it was smelly socks. Dope. Nice. I mean, yeah.
So, from the title, people aren't able to tell exactly what you'll be talking about in
Nope.
the book. So, what type of
Poetry.
poetry should people expect to see?
I talk about everything. I try not to leave no stone unturned. I don't believe that there is a topic that you can't address or talk about in poetry, because I believe that it's that powerful and is that much of a conduit that you could talk about anything, and that's what I try to do. You know,
Good.
yeah.
Great. Great to have you.
Let me just say this. I did read his book.
Oh, did you?
And so I'm writing another book. Like, I'm saying I'm 99.99%. And I remember I asked you, could I put one of your poems in my book? So it was the you have a poem in there where you were like your relationship between you and is that your daughter's mother? Yeah, that's the one that I'm going to put in my book. I remember the title of it.
I I remember giving a brief synopsis of how thankful and appreciative I am of her. Although we're not together, just being the mother of my daughter, and my daughter having an important female womanly figure, in her life, and that being her mother. I think that that's important. That whether the relationship, whether you all are together or not, I think it's very important that a child has both parents in their lives. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times in society, like, that's one of the things that are like kind of taboo. Like, I've seen a lot of cases where, you know, people are not together. They have a child, but they're like, they at each other's necks. They hate each other. They shitting on each other. They can't stand each other. And a lot of times one of them is lacking in in the presence in the child's life. And I think that you could live in a world where y'all not together, but y'all have a cordial, peaceful, understanding relationship for the betterment of the child.
Mhm.
I think that's what it's all about.
For sure.
That is very mature and emotionally intelligent of you.
I'm
No,
trying to be.
seriously, because a lot of men, we can jump into the cards with this. A lot of men, when they break up with, or the woman, a lot of times it's the women who break up, but when the relationship ends, they don't want to have anything to do with the woman anymore, or they don't want her to even be attached to their family. They don't even care if the woman has built a relationship with the family. They're not even looking at the healthiness of the child's mother getting along with the father's family.
Hmm.
That's important. So I commend you for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's I just think it's important and valuable. And then I look at it differently from personal experiences. Me not having my parents growing up, so you know parenting, being a parent and a father in my daughter's life is like it's everything. It's essential, life essential.
There's a bell in here every time somebody uses essential. Ding.
Yeah.
I think that is very important for you to think of it that way, and anybody who wants to have a healthy co-parenting relationship, because I think once the relationship is over and you're dating is hard enough without the extra challenge of the head butting with the other parent. So if you can eliminate one issue
Yeah.
when you're dating as
Yeah.
a single person, I think please do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm gonna shuffle these because Esau wanted us to shuffle these, y'all, like we was at the casino.
And you just did.
Listen, I'm getting it together.
And I want to brag on this because so Esau's daughter and I had the same birthday. I think that's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
October
birthday.
15th.
Yep.
Oh man,
Libra
Yeah.
gang.
you in for some trouble. No.
No, she is
You
just going to
in
be
for
a
some
bundle
trouble.
of sunshine.
Yeah,
A
she
bundle
is.
of a lot.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. How do you handle rejection, Bobby?
So now I handle rejection well. I look at rejection as, okay, that wasn't meant for me. In my younger years, I would be hurt. Like I wouldn't like let the person know, but I would internalize it like, what's wrong with me?
Mhm.
Now I'll be 50 this year. Now I take it more like, thank God. You know what I mean? Bullets I done dodged.
Mhm.
So now it's more like, thank God that happened because it wasn't supposed to be. So, yeah.
I don't know. I'm a guy, so I got kind of a hunter mentality. I think is relative. I think I think there has been times where I've pursued after rejection, or I guess you can say spun the block. Tried to shoot again like Kobe, but
Shooter's gonna shoot.
right, but
He a shooter.
a lot of times it's just like it's that hunter mentality is tied in ego, because you shooting a shot, but you like when you sit down and think about it and sit with your thoughts, you like, yeah, you gonna waste their time, you gonna be bullshitting. It's an ego thing a lot of times. That's the same thing with guys who can't take rejection. Like I've seen some of the most disgusting, disrespectful and wild things from guys who can't take rejection well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like cussing a woman out or putting your hands on her, or that's some of the wildest, most degenerate and soft shit ever. You know what I mean? Like just, I mean, and a lot of times you go off of energy. If a woman says no, she says no. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a man nowadays, shit, your ass better listen to rejection because you getting rape cases put on you.
Yeah.
so you better adhere to that rejection because you don't know what's gonna come after that.
You be like Shannon Sharp, no, was it?
Well, I want to take this a step further because it is not a question on this card, you guys. But what makes you feel rejected? Is it the actual no in a situation, or is it the way that the person responds and relays it to you? What makes you feel rejected? Because somebody may do something and you may feel rejected, but they don't know. So what makes you feel rejected?
Guys who can't take rejection have an undealt issue they need to resolve. You got that right, Melva.
Come on, Miss Allen, tell them.
But for me, I'm not rejected often, but for me, it's when I'm an aggressive woman. I have toned that down. Like normally I see something I want, I go for it. My son was like, "Mom, you can't do that. You're a woman. Stop." So I've chilled that out. But if it's somebody I've approached and they give me the inclination, like, yeah, we can kick it, we can talk, and then they just out of the blue just quit talking to me or whatever. It's like you could have not wasted my time. So that hurts my feelings because you wasted my precious time. Like, so yeah, I met somebody like that and I was like, called me up while I was at an event to tell me, like, why did you waste my
All
time?
right.
Like, and then why would you tell me at this particular moment when you knew I was about to go speak?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. But yeah.
I think it's because you said what makes you feel
Yeah.
rejected.
What makes you feel rejected?
I think it has to do with you, with yourself, because like you said, I mean that's the key part of it. What makes you feel rejected? Because it's it's a it's your response. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's what you're talking to, like the how you respond or how you react. And I think a lot of guys, they're insecure, and a lot of women are too, and it can tap into, like I said, it go back to that ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you may feel like you're up here, or you may feel like the person that you're pursuing or the person that you see them up here, and when you don't get up there, it's like they're putting you down here.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it make you feel like, damn, like okay, like let me go back to the drawing board, but and some people don't go back to the drawing board. Some rejection can hurt, but I mean, a lot of times, like Bobby said, I think it's a perspective and it can be a learning experience. Like, okay, maybe that wasn't for me, maybe, I didn't do something right,
Could be a myriad of things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next question.
You are so funny.
Okay. We kind of touched on this. What does co-parenting look like to you? I think we might can skip this one.
We can
'Cause he
skip
talked
that.
about
We
that a
talked
little
about-
bit.
we can skip that.
Okay, so let's get some juicy. Let's go to the bottom. Define cheating in a relationship. Esau, we're gonna start with you on this
He like, why you starting with me?
one. No, we're gonna start with him.
Define cheating.
Yes.
Um,
What is it to you?
I mean, I think cheating is the act of actually cheating. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think a lot of people say like, because I think this kind of goes into that video you posted. You posted a video that had me rolling. I thought it was the weakest shit ever. But like some people will say that, and that's where it starts. It starts in the mind and the thoughts and the imagination and stuff like that. Like some people will say like cheating starts in the mind and it starts in the heart. Well, if you say that, then your ass gonna always be alone because there's a lot of there's a lot of people that's cheating in their minds and their hearts. You know what I'm saying? Every day. So I think it's the actual act of cheating, of being unfaithful and infidelity. But I said that to say where a lot of people would say like, well, it starts in the mind and it starts on what you see. You was thinking about it, you was cheating. It made me think about that video that Bobby posted of the guy who was the woman who posted her husband who is at the gym and he closes his eyes or something when other women are at the gym. I said, this nigga. I said, I thought that was. I thought that was so. I thought it was silly.
Extreme. You
Yeah,
thought it was
and it
extreme.
was kind of full. Did you see the video?
I did not see the video.
I know which one you're talking about.
It was a guy. It's a guy and his wife, and she's on there gloating about her husband, and she's like, I think that he cares about women's feelings so much.
Oh no.
I just love my husband for being at the gym and putting the veil over his eyes and covering his eyes when
First of
he's
all,
at
that's
the
a
gym.
physical
So,
adaptation.
so a woman could feel comfortable, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
what? So
gosh.
he covers his eyes. She's saying that he covers his eyes so that he can make them feel comfortable. But I feel like it's also something else to that. Like you're so undisciplined that you have to be around a woman who's at the gym who got her spandex on and you got to cover your eyes. You understand what I'm saying? Like
I don't know. I think that might be a little extreme.
Yeah.
It may be again, it's a representation of what he's doing, not that he's actually doing
Well,
it.
let me explain this video.
I want to hear what
Okay, so with that, so she's saying that, but in actuality, he's actually, it ain't got nothing to do with the women. He's covering his ass for his wife's sake because I ain't looking at them women, but she not gonna say all that. She's like, oh, my husband is doing it for the other women. No, he doing it so your ass won't say nothing. And I'm with you. There are so many, not just men, but women too, who behave in their carnal desires instead of having some self-control.
Right.
So they go to the gym and the dude, every girl that walk back with the cheeks out, they wanna.
They got their eyes on
They got their eyes on them. Like they never seen no boobs before. So, or they like, fuck her, wanna fuck her.
But do you think it's a double edge to that? Because some of the stuff that I go to the gym a lot. Some of the stuff that women wear at the gym is like,
Well, they thirst traps.
There's
Right.
a look and there's a gawk.
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay.
How
No, I'm
There's a
saying
difference between a
elaborate.
look and a. Okay, I can see an attractive man walk past
All right.
and look and say, "Oh, not
Yeah.
oh, I'm still
So-
here."
so how do you do
see what I'm
it?
saying?
How do you
There's
do
a
it?
look and there's a gawk. So show us,
What you do?
show us your non-cheating look.
Yeah.
Since you said
Oh,
that's
oh,
not
no.
cheating,
Oh.
yeah. What's your non-cheating look?
See, men know that.
Don't look at the side. He can't help you.
No,
No.
see,
Don't get
he
him.
know, he know that it's a skill to peeking at the ass. You can't you can't do the golf.
But that's what
When
I'm
you with
saying
your-
to you.
When you with at the gym wherever you at, you can't be gawking. Don't be gawking, guys. But you can peek at the ass. You might do a set.
It's like you see it, but you don't internalize. You can see it, but not notice it. You feel it?
Yeah, right.
You see it, but don't internalize it, and definitely don't act on it. So you're saying cheating to you is an actual act, and you're like
Exactly.
some people think is in the heart. By
Yeah.
some people, you mean women, because that's what we think.
Oh,
we think when you having these emotional connections and these
But
conversations,
some men do too. But that is cheating.
that
though.
is cheating.
Anytime
To
you're
some, but to him it is not. And this is where I think the breakdown comes in a lot of people's dating relationships, because these cards, bless you for having them, people don't have these questions
these
to each other
conversations.
until somebody doing something, until she see you out here gawking at the booty and slap you upside the back of your head. But to
Right.
you, that's not cheating. To her, it is.
That's
I would-
him. That's him being unfaithful, because I define cheating as being unfaithful. So he
I don't consider that cheating.
We may not consider that cheating, but some woman may.
consider that cheating.
If every time y'all out together, all you doing is looking, she may be like, he got a Roman eye. He's a cheater.
yeah, he got a Roman eye.
You would not be able to convince her that you're not if
Mm-hmm.
your behavior is displayed this way on a consistent basis.
And most guys who have Roman eyes like that are cheaters. They're always looking for the next something better or the next one or something. They're never satisfied with what they have, so that's what they looking.
Oh, okay. So if he's gawking and staring,
Yeah.
you can consider him as okay. Has Roman eye or he's unfaithful.
Yeah.
He's a cheat.
What do
He's
you
cheat.
think the proper gawking is a red flag? That's right, Miss Allen. What is the proper seconds before it turns into gawking? Because men want to know how long they can gawk, how long they can look before it turns into gawk.
See, like I said, it's a real men know it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a skill, because here's the thing. Y'all see the ass before we do. Y'all
We
know
sure do.
y'all know when a beautiful woman coming
Booty
y'all
over
can-
there, booty over
Yeah.
there. This nigga about to look.
Yeah, right. And the whole time in both our minds, we seeing who gonna look first.
They begging on us to say something.
Right.
Please say something to me because I saw it too. No.
Right. Or you might just
have.
be, you
I'm
might
like,
just
"Damn,
be
she
with
got a
your
big old
woman.
booty."
Right. You might be with your woman and be like, it's a shame she came out here looking like
But that's
oughta-
insecure women who say stuff like that. I'm one of the people. If somebody got a banging body, I'll tell another girl, girl, you look good. Ooh, whatever. I don't like girls, but if somebody is banging, I'm gonna tell a girl,
Mhm.
look at you go, girl. Nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
But I don't. For me, cheating is doing things that you would that you need to hide, that you would
Mhm.
not want. Think about it like
Yeah.
this:
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want your mate to do it, don't you do it.
Deceptive.
Right.
You're
Don't
talking
be
about being
deceptive
deceptive.
with it.
Yeah.
And then also, there is emotional cheating. So anytime that you are giving all of your emotions and things to another person
Mhm.
that you should be giving to your mate,
Mhm.
that's a no because people emotional attachment is harder to break sometimes than the physical. Like you can still break up physically, but still be emotionally attached to
I
that
think that ties into the I think that ties into another topic that I find a lot in the dating world is that best friend shit.
I don't. That's
Is-
another one of them
Listen,
questions.
Dominique got a comment on here. She said there's a difference between lusting and looking.
Yep.
And so I think that's where it might tie into making sure you're not lusting and the emotional ties and stuff like that, because the emotional ties can take you into the lusting after
Yep.
this person.
Yeah.
And then it makes you act. You
Yeah.
know, you can be attracted to a thing, but not give it attention.
Yep.
And that's
So there's a difference between having attention for something and then feeding the attraction for it.
Yeah. But go ahead.
no, I was saying what you said about that emotional attachment and how it can turn into lust, and I think that I've had that conversation with people before about having a best friend of the opposite sex. Me personally, I come from an old school. I think having a best friend of the opposite sex is unrealistic. If we're using the term best friend,
Mm-hmm.
a friend of the opposite sex, yes. I think when you have a best friend of opposite sex and you are in a relationship, that means that they have a certain value level in your life and you're sharing with them emotional and intellectual properties and experiences and things like that. And I think that when you're building that stock internally, and I think it's natural for the opposite sex to be attracted to each other, the man and the woman. So if you have a best friend of the opposite sex, like I've heard people say it all the time, like, man, or he's been my best friend for now. If he's gay, if he which is okay, which is nothing wrong with that. If he's homosexual or something like that, I understand. Or if he
Maybe elementary school age.
even if he's elementary school age, I think that when you have a relationship, when you're in a relationship with someone, I think that if y'all are building emotional stock with each other, and eventually that best friend of the opposite sex, the time is going to wane. It's just natural. I'm gonna be spending more time with my woman. I'm gonna be talking to her more. Those things that I would tell you, I'm telling her. Those things that I would tell her, you know what I mean? So that best friend that I once had is going to naturally become a friend. I think that a lot of things it's just nature and natural. And I think a lot of times people try to run from that. Like, no, I can have my male best friend and he done dated and he didn't have, and we've never ever done nothing like that. And
Oh, but
you
he
just-
want to.
Except
Yeah.
that one time at band camp.
Listen, niggas, women and men will wait in that friend zone for an eternity.
Yeah.
Eternity.
They
Yes,
will.
I'm telling you,
They will.
we will wait in that friend for the right one. We gonna wait in that friend zone like damn Remember in hopscotch on the when you was kids, you waited in the jump rope.
Yep.
That's
You
how
do
we-
right.
That's how we double dutch.
Waiting to jump. Waiting to
Yeah.
jump in.
That's how we waiting to get out of that friend zone. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, fuck up. Your ass gonna be in there, ain't it?
Yep.
You know.
But no, but that I agree with that because your mate is supposed to be your best friend.
Yeah.
And I don't a lot so I it's a lot of people out there that be like, oh, that's my best friend or whatever, knowing in the back of their mind they like them or whatever. They may not have whatever they want at that time. But let that person come up the way they want them to. Now it's hey boo. But I really don't think that the opposite sex, if I'm in a relationship, I think about your friends, period.
Mhm.
People will hurt that new girl they met, but they will not do anything to hurt their friend. So if you have a boyfriend or a husband and you got this dude coming in saying that that's my friend, you're putting that person over your mate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not cool.
No.
So, but that's still to me, that's emotional cheating.
Mm-hmm. What would you do if me and you were in a relationship and I told you, hey, babe,
Be happy.
if I
He's single, no.
if I told you, I said, hey, babe, you know my female best friend, she in town. We got tickets to the show and a play, and you know, we gonna go out to dinner and then we gonna go to the show later. You know, it's my female best friend, and wait up for me. I'll let you know when I get home around 1:00.
There's caveats and nuances.
Do
I know her?
It's the caveats and nuance.
Listen,
Nah.
do I know her? Have I met her?
Even if you met her, if she's an attractive woman, that's what I'm saying.
Even
from
if
a
she
man.
ain't attractive.
Even if she ain't attractive. If
I'm a different type of girl who's really a boy, but who's a girl.
okay,
So if I have met her
right,
and you guys have a friendship,
okay,
I want you to have a friendship.
okay.
Okay. It ain't gonna be like spending the night or anything like that. But I'm okay with you going and hanging out with your friend.
A nice show and
A nice show.
She
Sir,
put on
you
her
can
good
take
dress.
her to the motel for all I know. I don't know. You're telling me you're going to a show is a
Oh,
show.
so you saying trust? It's just
That's,
trust.
I have to trust you.
Oh, you perfect for Esau.
I'm not
Nah,
perfect.
yeah,
Esau.
nah.
It's a joke.
Oh,
It's a joke.
look,
No,
I'm about to be like,
I would-
because he probably be acting a fool somewhere, acting like the Leo
no,
he said he is.
Remember, hold on, no. I said that because, so you know how I do my interview before the show. So we did our talk. And so we were talking about, what did you say? The woman who, the ride or dad chick.
Yeah.
So if somebody brings something to you and say he did it or whatever, you be like, no, not my man. I'm not gonna believe it. You know, I'm like,
You know,
Yeah.
because here's the thing for me. So my rejection is different. See, I wasn't a part of the game, so I didn't answer the question. Rejection for me is if a person says they're gonna do something and does not do it.
yeah,
Okay. Really, aside from that, what? He's an adult. I can't stop him. I can't watch him. None of those things. So if you have a girlfriend and you're saying a female friend, however y'all want to call it, and she wants to come to town and hang out, she don't even live here.
I just
so
feel like you wouldn't even put your significant other in that situation to feel
that's
a question.
I agree.
A question could pop in her head, and you wouldn't put yourself as a man or a woman in that position to be vulnerable.
I agree.
Because that is a vulnerable me going out, especially. Don't let us have had an argument, shit. Or
the question is, why would you want to go?
You said what?
Because that is the question. Why would you want to go?
Right.
but there are people who do. That's
There are people who do, but that's
people
what
who
he's
do.
asking. He's asking me, what would I do? I wouldn't do anything.
Right. It's on me. Like
It's really on him.
Right.
There's nothing I can do.
Because I would tell my friend, like, I don't know if that's a good look. If anything, it would be like, how about all three of us go together?
That's
Or something
that's
like
what
that.
makes sense.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or, how about you get you a date, get you a friend or something, then we're going to do a double thing like that. Because, the optics of it and just the security
Right.
of my mate. I don't want them to ever feel like they can question.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to feel as secure. Obviously, you should have some level of trust and you should be secure in your mate. But those type of situations I think are delicate because, like I said, if you have a person of the opposite sex you've invested emotional attachments to, and y'all get in the right setting, y'all the right drinks been coming around, and you didn't had an
She done
argument
fell
with
on
your
ya.
person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
She done
Like-
fell on ya.
Like my ball just stumbled in her mouth. Like
Not Monica Lewinsky.
I just like, babe, I don't know how it happened. I mean,
He'll be
Said
Bill
she wanted
Clinton.
some tea.
I did
No, I'm
not
just like-
have sexual relations with that girl. You gonna Bill? I did not have sexual relations.
like
Let me get y'all another question. Y'all getting too wild over here. Here we go. Has a significant other ever felt afraid during an argument with you? Bobby?
With me, no. I have felt afraid, but nobody's ever felt afraid.
You never
how
thought-
did you
never thought nothing?
how did you respond? How did you respond to feeling like that? Like
So there are two. Okay, so me at different phases. So in my early 20s, I'm more so cowered down. But and then in my 30s, 40s, who you talking to? You know, kind of thing. But at the age I am now, I'm very cautious about who I talk to and how I navigate. So if a person, I don't do raised voices, your tone, all those things, those are red flags to me. So if your tone is real up all the time and all that, I'm not even going to entertain that because I don't like to argue or do all that. So if we can't talk calmly, you know, I can't.
where do you think women draw the line of feeling that way, and also because a lot of women will say like, yeah, I want a guy who's rough. I want to, yeah.
That's
You
the
know, and
toxic
else-
women.
Yeah, I want a guy who talks to me a certain kind of way, or like what how do you draw that line of feeling secure with your man, and like your question, you said feeling afraid.
So the security comes in is that it's your actions. So constantly it's a pattern. So whenever me and the person get into an argument and it's always that rah, 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 then I know that I'm not safe. But if me and my person, we both can be elevated, but it doesn't turn ugly. You know what I'm saying? So, but those women who say they want somebody to talk to them like that, they never got their ass beat. Okay? So they think, oh, that's so cute. He loved me. It's not at all. So I'm a DV survivor. I done got my ass beat. That's why I don't play. I ain't play wrestling with no dude, no boy.
Right.
You're not yelling at me. You're not none of that because I'm not. If you're not in a safe space,
Yeah, I don't even that respect is like big for me.
respect.
Like it's especially how we talk to each other, because I think communication is everything. And if we can't have a healthy conversation even amongst disagreement, and we can't still be sane and still be respectful to each other, like that name calling is a hell no. Like you like I don't know what couples be together and be calling each other out their name and they still, that's the wildest shit ever to me, because it's like
Yeah.
like
Foreplay.
Pettiness, jealousy, and yelling
Makes her feel unsafe.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so true, because if somebody is constantly, if you're doing something, their intent is to find something to come back at you with, the pettiness, that just breeds some type of animosity. You have to have animosity towards me to be thinking of a way
To want to
to get
purposely
back
hurt
at me.
me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if someone is constantly petty towards you, that's a great comment, Miss Allen, because someone is constantly petty towards you, it's like the gateway to the next thing.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm petty towards her. She didn't say anything or he didn't say anything. Okay, now I'm gonna start yelling at you when you tell me you going out with your friends or to the store or something. It's a gateway, so you have to watch all of the little red flags that you think in the beginning are so loving and cute. Oh, he's just so aggressive and all this.
Don't be aggressive with
Don't
me.
be aggressive with me. I'm not an animal.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, that pettiness. When somebody is like that get back, they don't like you because you don't hurt people that you like. Like think
Not on
about your
purpose.
friends,
Not on purpose.
or not on purpose.
For sure.
But think about your friends. People will go out of their way not to hurt their friends, but they don't give a shit about their mate. They will say and do things, and it's supposed to be okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important foundation of friendship.
Yeah.
Because I'm less likely to hurt you if I'm your friend because I care about you, I respect you. But most relationships move so fast, they're not even trying to build a friendship. It's can we fuck?
Right.
That's what they care about instead of let me truly get to know you as a person on the inside. So
My daughter teaches me a lot of teaches me great value how to communicate with women to my daughter, because she'll say my daughter never hesitates. She'll say, Dad, earlier when you were talking to me, I didn't like the way it hurt my feelings. I didn't like the way you said that, and I'm just like.
I like
I'm
her.
just like I didn't.
Over there about to cry.
I'm like I didn't. I'm like Princess. I didn't. And she'll be like, but I concede to it because I want to give her a safe space and I want to be able to have that open dialogue with her. Sometimes I'm like, okay, but for the most part, I think I yield to it and I say, okay, maybe I need to say it a little calmer. Maybe I need to be a little bit less aggressive, and maybe I need to. So I think it's also having that communication with your significant other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If she feels, if you feel, if your woman feels that way, her having the freedom to say, I felt this way, or the man having the freedom to say, yeah, you made me feel this way when you did that.
And you guys' voice, some of you, your voice is very strong in general.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're agitated, it drops again. And so that second drop is like, oh, this nigga's serious. So,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to
Yeah.
be careful with that right there, because that change in tone right there can be very intimidating.
But you know what? Let's take it this. So also, like, people will, like, when dating, I think it's important to not to just harp on your past, but you have to know your partners, the person you're dating, getting to know their past because of what they've been through. And you don't know if you're about to trigger them or whatever, but we're in charge of how we respond to our triggers. But it's important not to just harp on it, but at least tell me about, like, what traumas you've been through, whatever, so I at least know what I'm getting myself into. Because a lot of times people just go full-fledged head first and don't know nothing, and then some can of worms opened up, and it was like, what the hell, why she responded like that?
I got a story about that. Okay. So I've been dating this guy, and there have been some displays to me of selfishness. I told him he was selfish a couple times. He never said anything. Later on, he's like, yeah, my ex-wife told me I was selfish. Well, that would have been great information to know. But that was a trigger for him because it took him back to what she was saying to him. And I said to myself, I've never met the lady, and we hadn't gone in depth as to the ins and outs of his past relationship. But it said to me as a dater, people not lying on you. People not just calling you selfish. You need to think about why we are saying that you are selfish.
Here's my pushback on that. How was your delivery of that? Because that's a harsh word to call somebody.
True, it's true.
How was your delivery?
My delivery was, I'm feeling like this is selfish.
And she's very
Being
matter of
selfish.
fact.
Okay.
I don't know how else to say it to you. When you did this, to me, it displays selfishness.
Okay.
So what I said to him, I said, from now on, now that I know that's your trigger, what I will say is, when you did this action, I felt hurt because, or I felt disregarded because.
Okay.
Told him, I will never say the word selfish to you. I will explain to you how your behavior made me feel. And that's where we're leaving.
Okay. I like that.
I like
That's
that
where we're
too.
leaving.
I like that.
But I don't know that's your trigger. Because I'm just going to call it what it is. If you're thinking about yourself and not about me, if every time we ask for something, we doing something is, oh, let me go here, let me pick this, let me do this, you're selfish. But that's fine.
But some people don't even know they're triggered
Until it happens?
Until it happens.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe
But
he didn't.
But the thing is that when it happened, he should have said it in that moment instead of like, I felt something right there. But he may not. But not every like you have the emotional intelligence to use your I statements and how you feel, whereas not everybody knows that. So that's the thing too.
I had to learn that because otherwise I was just going to say, this is how you acted. But if you tell me that that is a trigger for you, now I can flip it. I have the ability to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
My initial is not to flip it. My initial is to be like, this is how you acted.
Mm-hmm.
But I can adapt. You know, it's fine. All right.
I want to meet him, but go ahead.
No.
I'll be like red
Matter
flag,
of
red
fact,
flag.
I'm about to pick the questions. I ain't got time for Russian roulette. Now, okay. Right now, would you say that you are 100% free of any emotional attachments or energetic connections? Do somebody think they with you right now? Or are you available for dating?
I'm 100% free of everything. I've been on this journey for going on 5 years now. So, yeah.
Now, what does that mean?
Oh.
So energetic connections.
Nah, he know. Don't help him. Don't help him.
So who you got a soul tie with, dog?
Okay. Who think they with you?
Yeah. Who hurt you out here breaking in these streets?
We gonna look up. They gonna be done cut this whole live feed.
No. I think that I think that it's all a process. I think that you being in a relationship is a process. It's just like we go back to the best friend thing and stuff like that. Like I feel like if you're actively dating, I think that you're gonna have emotional attachments and stuff here and there, or especially if y'all have been intimate. I think that when you decide to get in a relationship and be committed, you make the decision consciously to be committed to someone. I think that that's when you cut them off. I don't. But if you're not intending to be in a relationship or about to be in a relationship or in a relationship, I think that, and then you're dating, I think everybody have some connections and ties and attachments to people that they're dating or they feel like they have some sort of interest in. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that doesn't happen until it happens. Like, okay, I'm cutting all these hoes off because I found what I want and I'm about to, so I got to cut these ties. I got to cut these. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's a process.
So this is a question again. If you were dating someone or getting to know someone and y'all played this game, pretend he just answered that question to you. What are you thinking when he answers it like that?
That he still got people he's fucking.
Right. Exactly.
And I need not waste my time and energy.
Exactly.
So let me say this. I believe in soul ties. Okay. I have had soul ties. I have had like strong energetic connections with people. And during my healing journey, I wanted to be free of all those attachments so that when the right person comes along, there is nobody clouding nobody's energy in my space. I know that that's not nobody else, whatever.
It's not a typical man behavior because their job is to hunt.
So, well, but that's where self-discipline comes in, because I know men who have taken the road of let me clear this because I have had a history of dabbling every fucking where. So let me clear my space so that when the right person comes along, I'm not bringing all my baggage and bullshit not even meaning to put it on her, but I did accidentally because I thought that I could handle it. But then that's spinning that block. Like you may have that energetic connection with. It's that one chick that you like. No matter what, y'all just always back together.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta break that tie if you're truly gonna have a connection with just one person, and y'all have that. You gotta get rid of it with everybody else.
Oh yeah.
How can you put somebody else's clothes in your closet if it's still full of somebody else's clothes?
Yeah, there are no clothes in my closet. Nobody else's clothes.
It's clothes already there. It's full.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at some point, wouldn't it be beneficial for you all? Because I mean, I'm not a man. Wouldn't it be beneficial for you to say, let me just let it chill for maybe even if it's just a few
Do
months?
semen retention.
but
Quit.
Not semen retention.
But I think a man knows when he's ready.
He does know.
And
Then why he don't clean it out first?
Yeah.
You said why he don't clean it out
Yeah.
first?
Get out the
Yeah.
closet first.
I think he does. I think that.
Do you?
I think that if we're talking about a man who is ready to be in a relationship, like a man knows a lot of times, a man knows who he wants to marry or who he's going to marry years before. When a man sees his wife, he knows, okay, that's my wife. Now what he does after that, in between that, that's completely and solely up to him. But what I'm saying is when a man makes a decision to commit, he's going to commit. If he hasn't, there's a reason why.
Let's
And a
ask
lot
a
of time-
married man.
Okay.
Asante, did you know that your wife was gonna be your wife?
Yeah, I did.
So you knew
And
that.
and what was the window? How long did it take you to identify it? It ain't take you long to get you.
Probably like within a month. I've been knew who she was, but yeah, within a month time, I said, yeah, I'm gonna marry her.
And then I don't know.
And
I
then
ain't
how
trying to
long
put-
did you actually take you to actually marry her?
Within a year.
And they still happily married.
Yep.
She
What-
not here. She can't confirm or deny. She can't confirm or deny.
I think the problem a lot of guys have is that, and I'm speaking from myself too, is that we know who. See, it took him a year. That's good. That's pretty good timing. We know who we want to marry, but we be bullshitting. We put, okay, I'm gonna put her over here because that's the one I want to marry. So, I'm gonna see if she's still there in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and women do
we
it
know
too.
that.
Women do it
We
too.
don't do that. We don't do that.
I don't do that.
It's a lot of women out here who still got a Rolodex. and they trying to.
Mm-hmm.
That's not their selection process, though. It's not. You know what? I think I'm gonna marry him. I'm gonna hold him. If it's somebody they really think they gonna marry, they try to get him, whether it's poking holes.
Women do it.
They gonna get him.
Women do it.
You know what I'm
women
saying?
do it too. They'll put
Let me see that one.
they'll put that one dude that they feel like is marriage material. They'll put him to the side. They'll keep him in the
Friend zone.
Yep. They'll keep him in somewhere in the atmosphere, in the stratosphere, and hope that he's still waiting around up in there. And while they getting, having a little fun, they do it. Women do that too.
That's the man.
I don't have the time or the energy. Okay, you hear me? Kids do that, not grown-ups. Thank you, Dominique, for chiming in.
Oh yeah.
That part.
Not grown-ups. Nobody got time for that. Talking about something. I'm gonna leave her right here, see if she here for 5 years, and she ain't. She ain't. Absolutely
Right.
not.
And that's when you lose out.
Then he come back around like, you know what? Maybe I can get her to cheat then.
Maybe I can
Cause y'all
get her
do
to
that
who?
to cheat.
What do you
She
mean?
might be married. Maybe she could cheat with me.
Oh, that's diabolical.
Yeah, dudes do that.
That's diabolical right there.
They do that though
Yeah, that's
because it's the ego. Don't let it have been a situation where they had already been intimate before, and
I wanna know
now
this
you
one.
want to go back. Because in y'all mind, y'all can always get that old thing back.
Yeah. Once my spark is gone from somebody,
It's true.
gone.
It's true. Okay. Are you okay with dating someone who has been in a same-sex relationship?
No.
Like
So if a girl
Like
been
a
with
girl on girl.
yeah. I'm okay with that.
why? Because you would
I'm
have
okay
a
with it.
threesome, you like bring her in.
No,
No,
no.
I don't know. I don't think that's the reason because I think it goes into the same boat as because I think a lot of people deal with a lot of own insecurities and they project them onto themselves and it make things more complicated than what it already is. You know, obviously you want to make sure that person is vetted, they've cleansed or healed themselves, or they've, got out of whatever they've released whatever emotional or connections that they've had with the significant other. But it's a lot of guys who would it's just like I feel like some guys who would say like, man, I ain't dating no stripper, man. I ain't doing that because it's like okay, it's like, if that's you, if whatever you want, you're gonna pursue it, you're gonna go after it, you're gonna go get it. If that's something you want and y'all have discussed it and y'all have set parameters and boundaries, and that's somebody who cares to your feelings and emotions and help you build and be a better person. I mean, that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Even if that person if that person dated someone of the opposite sex, it's like, okay, that's something that you did. I mean, you with me now. I'm not gonna judge you or hold that against you. Now I don't know how a woman would
It's,
We
feel
don't.
about that.
It's
We
different.
don't.
It's totally different. It is totally different from a woman
We don't
and a
want it.
man. It
We don't.
is totally different.
We don't want it.
I don't want
No.
it. I don't.
We don't
I
want it.
I don't
You know
want
what?
it.
I don't know how much cleansing you can do, but I'm always see this every time. I'm gonna see it. I don't know how much Holy Spirit gonna get in you, and that's cool. But somebody else will have to take that journey with you.
So how y'all feel? Let's get a real adult. So if y'all feel that way, how do y'all feel about eating a man ass?
Why would we do
I've
that?
never done that.
No, I'm saying.
That's not on the card, sir. No. That's not.
You know what I'm saying? That's a real relevant thing now that women do,
I don't know.
and women think that that's like a cool thing or a calling card or it's sexy and stuff like that.
That is nasty.
But no, because what I'm saying is if you saying that you like some women will say no to that, but meanwhile you in the bedroom turning them out. So it's like, what's the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, where's the consistency? Because if you talking about you won't date a man that used to be with another man, but then when y'all in the bedroom, you got his legs in the air.
Because
Or
but see,
bent over.
this is what I'm saying.
Or bent over.
The woman who's saying that she won't do that is not the woman that's
Doing
licking
that.
buttholes.
All right.
The woman who's saying yes, I'm okay with that, is the woman who's okay with anything. I would believe.
Yeah,
Because my thing is, my challenge would be, and like you said, you need to make sure that that person is healed. Because at the end of the day, somebody could cheat on you with anybody.
Yep.
Right.
So I need to know that you want to be in a monogamous relationship with me, whether it's heterosexual or same sex. But on my end, I'm thinking, okay, if this guy has been with a guy, not only do I have to worry about his female friends he sleeps with, I got to worry about him hanging out with his boys, watching the game. I don't know what you're doing. That's too many people to think. That's too many possible people that you could cheat with because you're attracted to it.
Yeah.
But I do believe that people can be reformed or healed from whatever was causing them to do something that maybe they are not doing anymore. Because that could be anything. It could be drinking. It could be smoking. Anything that you no longer do.
And I think that's a thin line too with the threesome thing too, because like you said, someone can cheat with anyone. That's why That's why I think you have to be careful with opening that Pandora's box in the bedroom.
So you would never do that?
Because a threesome? Not with the woman that I'm gonna be with forever.
Mm-hmm.
If it is with someone that I'm not
A jump
seriously trying to pursue. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I think that when you with somebody that you seriously trying to pursue, I just think you got to be careful with, because everybody say they want to. Everybody a freak nowadays, and everybody talking about what they doing and stuff like that. But you got to be careful with opening certain doors in that bedroom, because you know what I'm saying. Like you said, you don't know what what you letting in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying. So
I guess I'm very traditional.
Don't say traditional. You say traditional, they hear missionary.
oh okay.
Well, no, no, not like that. But as far as I'm not gonna do a threesome.
Relationship.
But I ain't never had a man complain.
Tradi-
But go ahead.
traditional monogamous relationships is what she's looking
Yeah,
for.
that.
Uh-huh. All right, so is it okay to exaggerate your accomplishments and or your abilities?
No.
When you're in a relationship or outside?
Just
when you
in
date,
general.
When you
So,
dating.
this is a question that's really trying to get to know your character.
Talking about cat.
Are you a character person who exaggerates your accomplishments and abilities, or do you tell the truth about what you've done, your accomplishments, or are you faking for the gram? What's up?
Or you had the ATM receipt you found on the ground that say $200,000, but you only got $2 in your bank account.
I think everybody. I think.
We're not talking about everybody right now, Esau. We're talking about you.
Do I over?
Do you exaggerate your accomplishments and or
No.
your abilities?
No, not at all. I don't feel the need to. I mean, I like to let what I do speak for itself. I like to let me speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to gas you or oversell you something. I mean, you get what you get.
I don't want you on here being
You know what I'm saying?
sender to Esau to give us the real.
Yeah, like you. I mean,
Diplomatic. I think everybody is. No. We talking about you right now.
yeah, no. I mean, I haven't. It ain't too much that I've accomplished for me to embellish on. So
See, that's usually why people embellish, because they feel inadequate in a certain type of way. So they want people to see them a way that they don't already see themselves.
Like
Yeah.
So that usually what makes somebody embellish about
I've
what they're
dated-
doing, what they have, stuff like that.
I've dated women who do that a lot. Like,
I can believe
and
it.
I mean, I play past it. You know what I mean? I mean,
Do they tell? Do you know? Like, how do you find out that they're lying?
was
no,
just
I'm
thinking that.
saying you
Catch 'em?
you said when they overhype their
Yeah,
they overhype their
exaggerate their
accomplishments, exaggerate their
accomplishments,
you
catch 'em.
you just listening like,
Crazy.
okay, like they're telling you that they're this and they talking about this, and and it's okay, because you don't know what a person's journey of that they went through to get to where they were. Like a woman who got 3 or 4 degrees, I mean, she worked hard for that. She sacrificed and she built her career, on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something to diminish or discard, but it's definitely a lot of over embellishing in the dating world. Like,
Do you bring it to their attention? Because that would be kind of like embarrassing. If I was a
No.
person who embellished and then he was like, yesterday you said this, but today you're saying, I would probably be a little bit embarrassed.
a lot of times I just don't talk to him again.
Oh, you dip out.
Yeah, I'm the
You
dip
wanna- you
out
wanna
king.
You want us to keep one? Or you want to wrap it up?
It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Keep
the
going.
I'm the dip out king. Like I'm the
You the king of dip out.
I'm the, like, if I ain't feeling it, or if I get like something that's like, if I feel like you're doing that, dudes do it too. Dudes do it
Absolutely.
probably more than women. Like, just capping and over embellishing. Like,
Because women want what they know. Women like all that, so they. I say, come to me for real, because if you got 2 nickels in your pocket, tell me you got 2 nickels in your pocket. Don't pretend like something you ain't. Then we go to dinner and be like, you gotta pay for the food. What?
That's so true. Dominique said they say they taking care of their mom, but
They
really
live
live
with
with her.
oh man,
That's the number one.
I didn't got that.
Number one Stone Cold killer. They-
I didn't got that a few, and I was just and I've like I said, if you tell me, I'm not one of them guys like, I go off of what you tell me. If you tell me that's what it is, that's what it is. But I've heard that a couple times. Like, yeah, I'm. It's like, yeah,
How, like as if a person with eyes can't see that if you are the one who house this is, you would not be in the basement. You
Like
would
saying
you would
oh,
first floor upstairs anywhere. You would have a bedroom upstairs, but you would debate downstairs trying to make it seem like you have your own apartment.
you listen to this. So I know for me, when I was dating and I was doing things, men didn't come to. I went to the guy's house. If I couldn't go to his house, we wasn't doing nothing because I wasn't. You're not coming to my house.
yeah,
But they had to have their own house.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had a daughter living with me at that time, so I didn't let. Yeah.
Right, I
Somebody
feel
in my
you.
house. But so if the guy had his own place, we can go over there. But I wasn't. Then if we could, why can't we? Who live there? I'm
Yeah.
asking these questions.
Who all over there?
All right.
Your mama.
Okay. Are you guys okay with sharing your passwords with your mate?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't. If you don't have anything to hide, why not?
Right. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I
if
don't.
you if you're in a relationship, like why your significant other can't have your password?
I think this one's a really good one. How did your upbringing influence your views about relationships?
Mm.
So, how did you see relationships in your home? Do you think that has influenced you? And if so, how?
Why y'all looking at me?
You want to
I
go
think
first?
you might be ready.
Or you,
Okay. So for me, I grew up in a home where infidelity was the norm, abuse was the norm, and that really I didn't think it shaped me because I was always the strong one where it's not going to happen to me, but it did. And I because I am wired the way I'm wired, I was had the strength to change it. But it really did shape the kind of men. I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing, picking the same type of men. So it's like now I'm very intentional about how I do everything because I'm not trying to continue that cycle. You know what I'm saying? So it really did shape me a lot. Yeah.
I think mine did too. Like I didn't have I never met my pops, and my mom, she wasn't in my life at all. You know, so I think that definitely shaped how I interact with women and how I pursue them and how I date them. You know, I think I find myself being a little bit more um, uh, touchy feely and emotional and wanting that connection or to feel that because I think it's because not having that intimacy with uh, a motherly figure. You know what I'm saying? Because you know a lot of people say intimacy, they think sensual, but intimacy as far as just that connection. You know what I'm saying? Because your mother shows you how to love a woman, and your father shows you how to love a man. And um, my mother, I mean, I didn't. My mother not being in my life and me not getting that intimacy, I find that I think that definitely affected how I date and how I view and approach women.
I agree.
So I'm gonna try
That's a
not
great
to
answer.
play. See, my mind is going to therapist mode.
Listen, no, I almost asked them, "You've been to therapy?" Because black men need it. But I'm gonna go to the next question. With that being said, are you honestly ready to reciprocate what you are asking for in a relationship?
Yeah.
I am.
Because a lot of times we have ideals and expectations. Because the next question is to describe your ideal partner. So if you describe your ideal partner, and are you ready to give them what you're gonna ask them for, and are you ready to be open to that?
I think I don't think I don't ask for much. like I really do got humble beginnings. So I don't ask for much from my significant other in a relationship. I just ask for effort and I ask for uh reciprocity and balance and for us to complement each other. I think that the whole idea of that 50-50 term, I think that that's unrealistic. I think that that's a joke. I don't think it's a such thing as 50-50. I think it's a such thing as complementary and balance. You know, you feel the voids of each other and you make a thing work. Like I feel like we've made life and dating and relationships more complicated and complex than what it really is. And if you look at those relationships of old and back in the day, they just made it work. They just figured out a way to make it work. And then that's what I feel like in relationships and dating. Like, if you really want this man, you're going to figure out how to make it. If you really want this woman, you're going to make it work. However y'all got to make it work, y'all going to sit down, y'all going to come together and make it work. And if y'all not trying to make it work, then that's not something that you really want.
And that's
true.
that's like the days of old. If it's healthy, a lot of times back then women were there because they had no other option. But I have seen those old relationships where they were happy and they did make it work when it was healthy. But I know for me, it's got to be healthy all the way around. It can't be no bullshit. no bullshit. Yeah.
Say we cutting through.
Yeah.
Describe your ideal partner.
My ideal partner is someone who, like, I had this book with all this stuff listed. Just somebody who operates in like integrity. They're honest, loyal. Though it's those qualities, those character traits I'm looking for more
Right.
so than just the
Physical.
physical. You know, because like I done dated some toads. But they were someone else may have thought they were told. I thought they were nice. But I'm looking at more like the personality and stuff like that, instead of the physical.
Mhm.
At the age I am now, it's not just all about the physical, because when those things fade, then what? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because when I get 70 and whoever I'm with and he old too, we ain't gonna. Well, okay, I'm gonna say 90 because hopefully I can still screw. But
Let me ask you. Can I ask a counter question to that?
Sure.
But
What's a physical trait that's a no go for you? Like what's a physical trait that's like, okay, like I'm talking about when you're in a relationship.
I got in it.
You already in a relationship.
And
What's the one thing that you feel like that could arise and could cause separation? A physical. Yeah. I'm talking about
Oh, I know.
I'm talking about
I got mine.
they hygiene is not is up, or they start to gain weight, or they start to go ball. Like I'm like what's
you
what's
can't
the-
control going bald.
No, that's what I'm asking. It's multiple things, but what's one thing in a relationship? Because I know some guys, I'm sure women have it too. Like, you was about to say, what's a physical thing that?
What is it?
I'm not playing the game though. No.
I wanted to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You did hit a soft point for me, which is the hygiene. If something happens and you lose that hygiene, you probably lost me. Like this much OCD.
Yes, she
My house
is.
is everything is in place and it has a place. So if
Your
you
older guy.
listen, that may be a sore point. But I also understand everybody doesn't have. You might be having an unfresh moment. Okay,
Right.
It can't be a consistent decline.
Right.
But for me, I think it's the beer belly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if the belly is over and I can't see it, we got a problem.
And it make it look smaller.
No, it don't make it. It gets smaller. I would have a problem.
So what
We would have a problem.
So what would the conversation look like if y'all if that transpired?
I would stop cooking.
No,
You
And
wouldn't
we-
say
no,
nothing.
no, have
We'd
no.
be
I'm-
making salads
I'm
every
him.
day.
I'm him. I'm him.
You him?
And
Ooh,
I am, and
okay.
I've been eating good. You've been feeding me
been
good.
eating- oh,
You've been
I made you
you've been,
fat.
yeah,
Okay,
you,
I
you've
feel
been
you.
feeding me good.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
you know, I'm at work. I be eating extra food and stuff,
Okay.
and
And sneaking.
you know, sneaking.
Uh-huh.
And you know, we've been getting it in. You know, I've been knocking the walls down, but you starting to notice something different. You starting to notice that you can't see the penis like you used to, and you seeing the gut is getting over the stomach,
over
and
there.
you know,
I
and you
can't
wanna,
do
you
it.
wanna, you
Yeah.
want it to be better. So, how would you? I come in from work or wherever. How would you have that conversation?
Okay, because I've already cried about it when you weren't home. So I can't cry in front of you. So I'm ready now. Now I'm ready to have the conversation. I can't have it before dinner.
Oh God.
I have to have so all of my, this is my little trick. Women, y'all can steal this. All of the important conversations are had in the bedroom prior to sex.
Why?
You need them relaxed, either prior or after when they're in a satiated state.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
break it down.
You don't have any conversations anywhere else in the bedroom.
Okay,
Relax. Even if it's on it, I have a settee. You sit on it, we talk. This is the safe space. Okay, so we're gonna sit on our safe space,
okay.
and I'm gonna say,
You taking a long time to get to that conversation.
I know, because it's a hard conversation.
Yeah, but you gotta have. You want this relationship to last now.
So I'm gonna say, I really think that we should start watching what we're eating, because
You don't say, you don't. That don't sound real soft enough. We in the bed. You gotta set the scene. We in the bed. It's too much bass. A little bit soft.
there's a lot of bass in my voice.
Yeah, you was.
No, I don't get soft until I say, because I really want to enjoy those positions we used to have.
Right.
That's when you take it down.
Right.
But before then, I just really want to get to, I really think we should start eating better.
Okay.
So I'm going to start getting us on a regimen. And you want to meal prep with me? Give me some meal prep. I'm going to start with that.
Okay.
And then if he be like, yeah, why all of a sudden, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm really having a tough time getting to those positions that I really enjoy with you. And I want us to enjoy our sex life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not just be direct and just tell them?
That is direct. That's what I'm telling him. The problem is I'm not enjoying our sex life.
So that's not direct.
He's telling you that you can't be harsh, so you can't deliver it the way you want to
No,
deliver
I've
it.
had this conversation before.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
So,
Tell me.
how did
Tell
you
me
do
how,
it?
how did it go?
It didn't end well.
The conversation.
It did not end well.
How did this conversation go?
The conversation went.
Okay.
I wasn't mean when I said it. I just was like, you put on a little weight, and it did have something to do with his peen.
I know you cannot say that. You can't start the conversation off being
Okay.
accusatory.
We were just talking. So I told him that he put on a little weight,
Okay.
and that I noticed that he don't. Like,
Oh no! See,
Woman, you better say
See what I'm
we
saying?
adults.
Okay,
he
so-
don't fuck like he used to. Say
Yeah,
what?
he can't.
Okay.
because you can't say that because she lied. What's wrong with you?
he just been
Okay.
cussing up story. No,
The
no.
whole
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
But I cuss on my show all the time. If don't nobody like it, they can turn to another.
Okay.
station.
Go ahead. So.
But no, I told him that he wasn't going as deep as he used to because of his stomach.
This one says you can't reach the spot. This one can't reach the spot.
I said it.
He wasn't hitting the back. He wasn't hitting the bottom. You won't hit the bottom like he used to.
You couldn't get no closer.
You just been hitting the surface, and I'm trying to get the bottom hit, and you ain't been. You
But
ain't been
yeah.
reaching sea
That
level.
didn't end well. See? Oh, we gotta wrap it up.
Oh,
We gotta wrap it up because he said y'all doing too much. Thank you for that, Asante. I appreciate you. She doing way too much.
Well, I did say that. I did say
Okay.
that. No, but let me go back to this. The perfect person for me is not about looks. It's about their character.
Right.
Yeah. What about you? Character or looks or both?
I think character. But I think that attraction is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's underrated. I mean, I think a lot of people like they unrealistic. Like, I mean, it's important, but it's not everything. The physical is important, but it's not everything. Your lead should be that person, character and integrity and self-respect and what are their ambitions and goals and career orientation to build, some sort of wealth, build a,
But that can make somebody
substantial.
who isn't normally your type attractive. Look at
Yeah.
We both was looking like. But are they not normally his type because of their personality or just because of their looks? You mean his perceived physical type? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because I think most people got a type, a physical type.
I don't have a physical. My physical type is not big belly. That's I can't do it.
I'm a sapiosexual, so I'm attracted to intelligence. You have to be able to hold me mentally. Like I can get over all the other stuff. If I can't have no conversation, it's like shoot me now. You know.
Now I have a physical preference, but not a type.
I normally like big
Is that
stuff.
not the same thing?
It's not.
You-
It's not.
I used to like chocolate
Because I
big
date-
men, and not anymore.
Because a type to me means that this person only dates these specific people that meet these parameters. I can have a preference, but I will date whomever that I'm attracted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to have you had to be
Plug your cards.
a big fella.
Because he said we got to wrap it up.
Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This was fun. So what's that? This only true if it's not the person or a blind date. The first thing you notice is looks. True. True. I agree. So I want to thank you for coming on the show and
Thank you.
being vulnerable and honest to share. And Toya, even though you said I'm not gonna play the game,
I'm not.
thank you for playing the game and being the host. So you say bye here. You say bye. Where's your camera at? No, where's her camera?
Over here.
Oh, over there, and mine is here. So everybody wave bye.
Bye.